Hey, welcome to Tiff's Creatives. And this is January 1st. We're doing new beginnings and resolutions, and it is Junk Journal January. And what I wanted to share with you was my very first attempt at creating a junk journal and a little bit about that, because I think it's something that you can probably relate to. Those of you that are brand new to junk journaling, wondering what it's like, how to do it, if you can even do it. For me, I was one to buy junk journals, and I did not like to craft or art or anything like that. So I didn't own any glue. I didn't own any scissors. I didn't own anything to make a journal. But I was about to purchase another journal, and generally I like the ones that are really expensive. So I was thinking, I need to try to do this for myself. I need to try to make it, because then I can get something that I can create that's for me, that I love, and that has everything in it that I want, and not, oh, that's perfect, but there's just something about it that's just not right, but it'll work for me. So I decided to go on this journey of trying to make my own. And so I Googled YouTube and said how to make a journal. All this stuff came up about junk journals. I didn't even know what junk journal meant or was. And junk journaling is journaling from pre-owned, pre-used, vintage stuff that's either something that you could discard or has been used before. It's not generally brand new stuff, but now everything's kind of classified into junk journaling, it seems like. I know they have bullet journaling and all that stuff, so we're just going to use that term for now. So I found this junk journaling, and I found where they had templates for creating books. And there was this place called My Porch Prints, which was a very dangerous site to find on Etsy. And I decided that I was going to print one of their templates for creating a junk journal and go ahead and do a template and follow it exactly like they showed me on YouTube. So that was nice. I could print the template and then follow them on YouTube and have my own journal done in the end, and not feel like I was going to really mess it up and make it totally ugly and want to just throw it away and be discouraged. So this is my journey, and this was my first book. So I love it. It's a cute little My Beginner Junk Journal from My Porch Prints. Again, everything prints up. And the nice part is I didn't have to go out and buy a bunch of new stuff to create a journal or to practice or see if it's something I even wanted to continue to do. It's all done for you. From the inking along the edges, because I didn't have ink. I didn't even know what inking was along the edges. I was shocked when that was something. We've got the cover. So I did need to go get some cardstock and some copy paper. I did have a printer, so that's good. It printed all the pages onto faux tea-dyed paper. So I didn't even have to tea-dye my paper. I didn't have to go buy tea-dyed paper. It printed it for you. It did the little aging of the edges. Again, the edges were already tea-dyed. You could do it more if you wanted to enhance it, but it's done for you. It had all these pages that had pockets and bands and tags that you cut it out on the side. So it had everything to decorate it. And most of the stuff I really liked. I thought it was pretty. And then I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought a few things, like some of this ribbon that they had over there on the Dollar Tree. They also had more little ribbon that I tied to the tags up here. And even with the tags, all I needed was to do a little hole punch, which, believe it or not, I had a hole punch, and I was able to clip that. And then you've got that little fake, what do you call those? Those little reinforced holes for your tag already done. And I did things double-sided because I really like to have things double-sided and not have an empty side or a blank side or a white side. Also, even the words here have that faux edging on it, inking. And so I was able to go to the Dollar Tree, just pick up some of their washi tape that they had there, some of their ribbons that they had there. They even had the cheesecloth, and incorporate those into the book very easily. So I encourage you, if you haven't done it before, junk journaling or making your own journal, it's something that's pretty easy, even if it doesn't feel okay. And they lay it all out for you, and you can do it. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. The challenge for me was probably cover. Also, I don't like to cut things out. I do not like to cut things out. So my husband was nice enough to go ahead and cut everything out for me. He is my Cricut. I don't have one. He is my fussy cutter. And so we got everything cut out, and then putting the cover together was probably the thing I was most nervous about. And I actually printed out two because I was afraid that I would mess up the first one. So I went ahead and had a backup plan. And I folded it just like she directed on the tutorial and did the inside covers and the glue. And that was the other thing. This is nothing that I had to sew on. It's mostly gluing. I did sew in the signatures the signatures. But that was something that I wanted to do. I could have done a glue book where they just do glued pages, but I wanted to have at least that challenge of trying to figure out how to sew in my own pages. And because I wanted to know if this is something I wanted to do it down, in the future. So I did end up having to get some yarn or whatever. And again, that was at the Dollar Tree to sew on the pages. Now, the other challenge was trying to understand all the lingo that so often you will hear people say, the YouTubers say, oh yeah, you need, you've got your embellishments, you've got your inferma, you've got your signatures, you've got your fussy cutting, you've got your happy mail. And then they'll say, oh, and you probably know what that is, so I don't need to explain that to you. It's obvious. It wasn't obvious to me. I didn't know those terms, and so I had to look a lot of things up. I didn't know what a signature was. They kept calling something a signature. I finally looked it up. And it's just a group of pages that are put together and sewn into a book. And that equates as a signature. And it can be a lot of different amounts of pages, from just a couple pages to, a lot of pages that will equal a signature. So this is one signature, and I've sewn it in. Where did it go? I've sewn it here in the center, and I followed a tutorial on that. And that was another nerve-wracking one because I felt like I was doing it all wrong. And then again, put all my pages together, sewed the second signature in. And most of these pages, you're just gluing them back to back, and then they're usually kind of, they're like this. You've got the two sides as a whole, and then you're sewing them in together. And so that was a learning process for me, and it did take me a little bit. But I was so proud of myself after I got my signature sewn in, and I had my my cover done and the pockets done. I was just freaking proud of myself, and figured out what a signature was. Actually, I probably figured that out a few videos later. What is an embellishment? That's just the items that you choose to decorate onto your pages or your covers and make it look pretty. And often that's like jewelry or dangles and things like that. Even little tags and stuff, embellishments that you put in through the book. Even the cheesecloth or stickers are embellishments. So I kept it pretty simple in this one. I was pretty excited about the 3D butterfly. Did not know if I was going to be able to do that. And then when I followed it, I was like, oh my gosh, that was so simple. I can do this. That was so easy. It was awesome. And I was able to do one cover, not the other. I didn't have to throw the first one away for huge mistakes. And here's my glued in pocket on this page here. I was really excited that Dollar Tree had such inexpensive things to decorate your books with that I didn't have to put a lot of money into it and just give it a try the first time and see if I'm even going to like this. Excuse me, or if I just want to go back to buying it from somebody else because I just don't want to do it. But I found that I had such joy and pleasure and a sense of accomplishment while doing it. It was just so much fun. And my first try at journal binding, 9/20/21. Wow. So I put that down and some of the tools that I use, some of the things that I might need. Taking my notes from I watched a massive amount of videos. I mean, just a plethora. Here, I thought I was being really fancy, trying to make a 3D little flower up there. It didn't really work out, but it's still a usable pocket. And I really am challenged by cheesecloth. Cheesecloth hates me. We have a war. I feel like everything I do with cheesecloth ends up looking flat and dull, and I'm not happy with it. I still need to figure out how to use cheesecloth better. Use of washi tape, which the Dollar Tree had, and put that along the side. Figured out that you have to glue it because washi tape is not supposed to be sticky. Also had to figure that one out. And so, yes, you do have to usually use glue to get it to stay in wherever you're adhering it to. It's meant to be a placeholder and removable and not something that stays in place permanently. Otherwise, it's tape, right? Things I wanted to still try. I made a list of those things like making a bookmark, doing a paint wash, wax seals, embossing, things like that. So I was starting to already use my book as I was doing this. This cute little daisy lace in the top, and I just cut that off of a piece of daisy lace. And so I had just a small one to use there, and that was nice. I really learned a lot from My Porch Prints, Pam at the Paper Outpost, and Treasure Journal and Amity Bloom. And so some of these notes are from their video tutorials, like the bird's nest, tea and coffee dyeing. I wanted to try that, and the hard gloss. I was excited to do it, and I was so nervous. I really felt that I was going to fail at this, and I just had to keep encouraging myself. So yes, you can see I can do this, and if I can do this, you can do this. The different types of journals, and that you can make an envelope journal and card journal. I didn't realize that there were so many different types out there, and that you just need glue to do that, and you didn't need a sewing machine, and that was exciting because I didn't have a sewing machine. Book types that I was interested in making is like a spiritual studies one, a travel notebook, a grimoire. And then I wanted to try the second book, the pink book. So I'm going to move over to the pink book, which I called the pink book. So this is the other one that they had for a beginner junk journal. And again, I was super excited to try it. I did put a tie in here, which ended up cutting off because it was more awkward than helpful. And I wanted to try grommets for my first time. So I did have the tie in there, but it wasn't working out again. So I took it off. Again, the 3D butterfly here, and I added this one. It's so cute. And more plethora of note taking. So have all of that in there. And then sewing. This I turned this into my sewing journal because I finally did get a machine. And so again, taking notes in my sewing machine how to use it because I'm still learning how to use it. But how pretty is this book with the beautiful pink flowers and all the lines to be able to write in? And I'm not usually a writer. I like to do picture stories, art stories, and tell my truth through that and my life through that. But writing, no, I don't usually have the patience to do that. So you'll find that I use these more for lists and instructions and just taking notes more than, anything about my life directly. So this was so cute. I put the little scissors here with the button. So excited about the button. And I had a leftover button from a shirt. So I put that on there. Actually, I went and cut it off. I was so excited to get that extra button cut off. Got my pocket there. And this journal kind of reminded me of my mom who's gone because she loves pink and she's passed away. Used my washi tape here. Tried to ink my cheesecloth there. Did not turn out real pretty, but you know what? That's okay. You can always glue over it, do something, decorate over it, and change it and make it look better. I haven't there, but there's time for that later. I was just trying to keep it simple with the embellishments and trying to do some unique stuff like this mouth here that I thought, oh, that'll be decorative. I'll use this little punch that I got at the secondhand store and it'll look pretty. And it looks like somebody just took a bite out of it. So not really my favorite, but it's good to try. It's good to try different things and see how you like them. And I love these little booklets in here that you can make. And I put washi tape around here and accentuated it. So got my little booklet in there. I haven't used this book as much. I haven't had the chance to sew. I'm still learning so much about how to film and how to use the social media that I'm pretty much behind on all my crafting, but that's okay. I'm learning and I'm getting through it. But what a beautiful book. I even did some sparklies here on this planter with the flowers here. And I just thought this was great. And what a wonderful way to give it a try, to do something new and different, to be brave and get out of my comfort zone. And, sewing pages into a book, learning what they're called. And instead of paying somebody to do it, I was doing it myself. And it really made me feel good. And then on top of it, I wasn't really going to show anybody my crafting because I feel like people are better than me at crafting all the time or artistry. And so I was embarrassed. And then when I finally pulled my books out to show my daughters, they were like, oh my gosh, those are beautiful. I want one. And then the same thing started happening with my sisters and stuff. And I realized that, you know what? I don't need to hide away. I don't need to be embarrassed that I too can have my own style that fits me and be proud of it. And other people will like it too. And if they don't, that's okay because they have a different style, right? We don't have the same style. That'd be really boring. We all have to be different. We all have our individual, selves. And it's like our fingerprint. The way we do this is our own unique fingerprint of how we like to express ourselves, whether it's with words or pictures or photos. And that's really important that we stay true to ourselves that way. Excited to try this little envelope with the closures here. The string fell off for me and I need to fix that. But super excited when I got that in there. And so you can see that this book had, again, the 4 signatures, got them all sewn in. So this was my second practice. And it went quicker the second time for sure. And then I felt even a little more brave to step out of my comfort zone and go on to the next bigger project. I have another pocket here. Once again, I tried that little bite there. And I need to stay away from that. I don't like that. Maybe somebody else does, that's fine. But I just feel it looks like somebody was chewing on my book. So I won't do that again. And the one thing I would not recommend is on these, I decided to go ahead and give them a little extra protection and decided to put Mod Podge on them. And what that does is it creates a nice seal and kind of gives them a little water resistance and helps with dirt and grime and holds them together. But it also makes the books very sticky. So if you use Mod Podge, I would be careful because it can leave that sticky layer. And I even wanted to do that on the butterflies because I thought, it'll protect them and then their wings won't get all messed up and bent and yucky. But everything started to stick together and it was hard to pull it apart and then they would tear. I have since found that there are other matte gel matte. No, gel matte gel mediums. Okay, see, I'm still learning matte gel mediums that you can put on here that don't end up sticky. So from there, we were getting ready to travel, and I decided to make books for my daughters to go to Europe. And so this project just grew. Everything just grew and grew and grew. And I just was having so much fun making things. And I started to expand and not only follow the templates that I found, and this one's an Amity Bloom template, but I started to do my own making of pages, my own tea dyeing. It's been fantastic. I was able to put a little closure here. This one is mine for travel, and then COVID hit and we weren't able to travel. So the girls didn't get to use their beautiful travel books, and I didn't get to use mine. So I used it for taking notes of art class, and I have mapping of shops and do-it-yourself videos and stuff like that through here. And honestly, I wasn't real happy with this one when I was done with it. I felt like it was just too much. But I did a lot of trials and errors in here, and I love how that little flower turns there. Today is a good day. And I used chalk writer here to see what that would look like. Note to self, you are beautiful, from the heart. So I was trying to encourage myself in the way of being able to do these things and not be afraid, get past that fear, push past my discomfort, and do something that would feel good. Loving my new journals, trying different pens, my first travel journal, trying envelopes. Do I feel peace and joy? And that's another thing, is when I am making a journal, if I don't feel joy with the product that I'm using or the items that I'm decorating with, I don't do it. I won't use it. I have to feel that joy, feel that excitement. Otherwise, it's not going to be that successful thing to help me feel less anxious, to help me feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. So I won't use anything that doesn't feel good to touch or do art with. I started to try different things and think, oh my gosh, I'm being so creative here. It was so much fun. And do little flip outs. And I was just having so much fun. Look at this. They even have these little Velcro strips at the Dollar Tree. So I had fun making these little library cards. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. The full library cards. And put those in there. Making lots of notes on these pages. I know people don't write on the decorated pages a lot, but I decided I was going to do that. And this one says 12/5, our days of tears, trip canceled, COVID, border closed. So we didn't get to go to Europe. And that's where we were going to spend Christmas at the Christmas markets, traveling with the girls. And so I ended up deep diving into journal making and trying different things. And it was just a lot of fun. So this is the one from Amity Bloom. As I said, there was a lot of embellishments. She had a tutorial, and it was something that I could follow along with, but I could also branch out and do things a little differently and not follow everything exactly. And I took copious amount of notes, as you can see, and I just didn't even care that there was a pattern on the back. I just went with it. And that was fun. Ideas, directions, things I wanted to do, note for projects and growing. So I would encourage you, just try it. You know, it doesn't cost a lot. If you just either print something up and follow that along from a tutorial, or I even have books at my shop that you can get that are already done. The covers are already made, which a lot of times the covers are the hardest part. They're the biggest struggle. So oh, I love this. Gosh, she has such beautiful, bright colors. I just love them. Amity Bloom's shop. This is just, I do. I love the bright, bold colors, and it's so much fun. And I did this little flip out here, and I thought that was so cool. And belly band with that one there. I was just so excited to try different things. And wow, I mean, it just brings me joy looking back at this, because I was just stepping outside of my comfort zone, outside of my box, and deciding, you know what, no matter what I do, I don't care if it's ugly, I'm doing it. I'm trying it. I'm going to do something that's new and different. And wow, I have had so much fun. And I learned about when not to glue things and when to glue things down when you're sewing in your signature and making the center, because you can, sew things down when you didn't mean to. So that was another challenge. But like I was saying, in my shop, I already have ones that are pre-made for you, with the covers already done. These are collage covers that I had from extra snippets of stuff that I had around the house. Some of them are reinforced here with some sari silk, and then some of them have faux stitching around them, which was fun to do. I like the faux stitching because, again, we don't all have sewing machines. And because I do dye my own pages now, it's got my own tea dyed pages, coffee dyed pages. There's vellum. There is my tortilla pages that I like, my tortilla splatter pages. There's my volcanic, Iceland volcanic acid ash pages. We've got music pages that I've tea dyed and grunge dyed and then punched, those little decorative punches throughout. I've done placemats or lacy placemats and stuff like that. Got those throughout. So it's been a lot of fun learning how to do things and make new things and trying a lot of stuff off YouTube and from the great people that I've learned from on their tutorials. One thing is, I do know as a beginner, it's important to share with people what all the verbiage is and the definitions. Not just assume that everybody knows that it's obvious that this is how it goes together and this is what you do. So I hope to be able to share from a beginner perspective and from a person who's been journaling for a while so that everybody can learn something and glean something from my channel. And most importantly is to bring people together in unity and support of one each other, learning, growing, creating, crafting, doing art, and really just being a community that is a community of encouragement and kindness. And we really need that in our world right now. And it's such a blessing to have people come and be a part of something that's healthy and helpful, and that we can all be together in something like this and build each other up. So I'm excited to start this channel. I'm excited to be with you and go along this journey and do different things, have different challenges, have different contests, and just be in a like-minded community where we can lift each other up. And I thank you for listening today. My resolution is to continue going forward in my journal making, learning, growing, no matter what, and pressing through the fear. And I hope to have you along. Thanks. Have a good day. Tiff's Creative. Bye.